This episode of Getting Tabled is brought to you by Valhalla Hobby. Use code TABLE to get 5% off any order over $100, one use only. A big shout out and thank you to our tablers for supporting us. Please consider becoming a Patreon for $2 a month. You get early access to all video content and can join us live.
Brought to you by some guys on the internet.
This is Getting Tabled.
With your hosts, Jason the Bruce,
You guy!
George the Yank,
I hope you are all entertained by my ineptitude.
Jason aka Major Socks.
We've been doing this and talking about various stuff. One of the stuff.
Now sit back, relax, and get tabled.
Hello, future people, and welcome to episode 181 of Getting Tabled with your host, Jason. He's really upside down now, the Bruce.
Hello, folks. Welcome to a new episode. It's brought to you by the letter O because it fell off the wall at some point.
It was backwards, Bruce. You need to turn around so it's not backwards.
Oh, sorry. There we go. It's now the letter O as opposed to the letter O. We also have with us Warhammer's biggest fan, Major Socks.
Yeah, thanks for all the disparaging remarks on me last week or episode. I appreciate that, guys.
You're welcome.
We were nice to you compared to how we could have been.
I know.
We have been way worse in the past.
I know.
Hey, Socks, what was nicer, what I said last episode or what I said before the beginning of this episode?
Probably last episode. And we got George. How you doing, George?
George is all right, I suppose.
Except for when
George-
Casey's telling you to not yell in her ear anymore.
I don't yell. My voice carries really well. Like, really, really well.
The volume button on George got broken at some point in his teens.
But my volume button is like, this is Spinal Tap. It goes up to 11.
Yeah, but it doesn't go below 12.
Anything nice to say to the folks, Bruce?
I'm glad to be here. That was a very big chance I may not have been at one point.
Alrighty. Well, let's go ahead and jump into that thing called the news.
Newly received or noteworthy information, especially about recent or important events.
All right, folks, take your Dramamine this episode because I'm in charge of the mouse scrolls this week, so hopefully I don't make you seasick or dizzy.
So I can't look at what we're actually talking about, but I did do the run sheet. I know we're starting with some badges and burrows.
We are talking about Oathsworn Miniatures preview new Burrows and Badgers figures. The first one up is a Cocker Spaniel with a crossbow.
Yeah, and that's probably my favorite of the ones that's been teased. These were teased earlier in the week leading up to Salute. They're not actually being sold at Salute. These are just a preview or something it's the next wave of what's going to be released, basically.
Mm.
The thing I do like is it's something we see less and less. Like, I like the fact that we're seeing the evidence that these are actually hand sculpted.
Yeah, for sure. We just went past the Fox, the Frog Militia. We're down to the Black Rat Militia. The Black Rat Militia looks very punk.
Very true. And actually, I forgot about the frog. I changed my mind. The frog is my favorite. Mainly because it's a frog and he looks cute.
Oh, no. My favorite is the Weasel because weasels are so trustworthy, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to steal anything from you or stab you in the back, right?
No, definitely not. The Australians in the chat will be, like you mentioned, the rat. And there's a few Australians that will be thinking in the back of their head, trust me, I'm a rat. And those people used to watch Bananas in Pajamas growing up.
Dude, I remember Bananas in Pajamas.
Oh, you got it. Oh, never mind.
Oh, yeah, that was an American thing too, yeah. Yeah, for some reason, your children's programming likes to make it over here. Um, I have one gripe about the Cocker Spaniel. That is not a
Mhm.
Cocker Spaniel snoot. That's more wolf-like. Cocker Spaniels are not that wolf-like, but it still looks good.
Yeah.
At that scale, you're gonna start
Yeah, I mean
crossing and stuff anyway.
it is hard when you're at the scale. Um, I'd have to say the Ghast Fox is probably my favorite. Just because it's undead. It's got that's a really good skull profile of a canine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about yourself, Fox? Anything in particular stand out at you?
I kind of like the rat. Just
The
The
punk
punk.
aspect is pretty cool.
yeah.
I know it's not it looks like it's a punk hairstyle. I know it's like the in the Marines we called it a piss cover, the one that just goes back and forth like that. I don't know what y'all call it in the Air Force socks, but I know that's what it's supposed to kind of resemble. But it looks like a punk rock mohawk laying over.
Yeah.
What do you guys call that, anyways?
I'm trying to remember.
Seriously, you are in 04 and you don't know what that's called? And
No.
I've been out for how many years and I
know,
still
right?
know what. Oh my god.
Dear the Air Force, don't let him become whatever it is that he's applying for. Demote him down to captain again.
Yeah, because then it's the fun title again that we started out with.
Yeah.
No, but we then have to figure out something else because I can't call him captain to insult him.
Actually, technically, calling him captain in that, as the fleet commander and drop fleet was a promotion because that's an
That's
06.
true. That's an 06.
So next up on the list, we got some pre-release stuff from Corvus Belli. Bruce, I know you probably want to talk about that. It's all pre-release stuff, so it'll be available
Yeah.
to order the 29th of April.
The main stuff we want to look at is the May stuff. Most of the April stuff is out there. The only thing we haven't talked about the Warcrow stuff, the Mount Haven stuff that came out at.
The link's
So
to April, not May.
yeah, there should be May further down.
No, it
Nope,
says
not when I scroll down.
it says, "How did you hear
Hmm.
about Warcrow?" and then a bunch of payment request stuff.
Okay,
Yeah.
they've updated the website since I did the links now. Awesome. Well, I guess with what we are looking at, the Mount Haven stuff we haven't discussed, that's the dwarves that are being released for Warcrow, which honestly I actually do like the look of. I mean, I don't
That
need them.
is not what I wanted it to do. Holy crap, that went full screen. I
Good
don't
job,
know what
George.
that looks like. Well, I click on the image to make it bigger on the browser, and instead of that, it just goes full screen on my screen, and I can't see anything that's going on.
Welcome to George Driving, guys.
Could be worse. I could be on my second old fashioned instead of my first.
True. Yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff that got previewed for May. There was a whole bunch from Infinity and a couple of things from Warcrow. But yeah, I don't know why they've taken it from the previous tab. That's weird.
So I I have no reason to get into this game. I'm already got enough of a problems like getting a Malifaux group going in my area. But just the look of these dwarves, um, they have a very Lord of the Rings, both the Weta Studios, Peter Jackson, Amazon. They have that very dwarf vibe like that, which honestly, I think that is probably the definitive look for dwarves. Is what those two studios have done.
Yeah, I can't say I disagree with you, honestly.
I'd love to make these images bigger, but like I said, they just go full screen. So, but
Yeah,
I mean, these sculpts just look great. Like it's the very blocky, chunky armor. You've got the very dwarven, scale mail. You've got the very impractically sized dwarven weapons because let's be honest, you can't swing an axe or hammer that size in warfare and not last more than 3 seconds.
yeah. Like The thing I like about the exaggerated weapon size when it comes to dwarves is, I mean, that is your sign that they are stronger than humans, right? There is
Yeah.
nothing else visually that would give that away until you look at the giant ass axe or hammer that they're throwing around. It's like, no
Yeah.
way a human would lift that.
Yeah.
I think there's a great looking sculpts. I know you can't really give much of an opinion because you probably don't have them readily available, Bruce. But the top right one in the group photo is my favorite, which is the dual wielding axe guy, which is that one right there.
Yeah. Um, for those that are watching, I'm currently away in Tasmania. And I did look at all those pictures, but it was about 10 past midnight last night before I went to bed. So,
Which
Corvus
one?
Belly,
Which
Corvus
one
Belly
catches your fancy, Socks?
What's that?
I said which one catches your fancy?
I kind of like the looking through them all. I kind of like the one in the back left with the staff, the big shield.
The ruin
mage.
lord
Yeah.
type guy. I do have one little criticism that they could have done for fun. They could have sculpted on some stubble for the females because that's the joke
Yep.
is you don't know what dwarven women look like because they look like the guys because they got beards.
The issue is that doing stubble on miniatures is actually very difficult because it ends up looking like there's something gone wrong in the casting process.
That's fair.
You're better off
too.
doing it with paint.
Stippling. Do some stippling.
Yeah.
These are great looking dwarves, and from a guy that
likes dwarves.
With the exception of a couple of things, like everything I have is dwarf. Like I like these dwarves. Like I wish the range was bigger so I could use them in some sort of other fashion, like a game that I have access to other than Warcrow.
Yeah.
Like that's how good these dwarves look.
Corvus Belly continue to impress with their sculptors. Like, there's nothing controversial about me saying that they have extremely good sculptors and have always had them. They continue to impress with Infinity. When they announced that they were doing a fantasy game, I think there was a few people who were like, "That's kind of risky. They haven't done anything fantasy in like forever, and it's not always something that's easy to cross from one to the other." But
Yeah.
I really don't feel like, I know that there's been a couple that George hasn't liked as much of others, but I don't think they've had anything that was just outright bad.
Yeah,
And
I wouldn't.
you can't say that about many companies.
Yeah, I went ahead and pulled up the Hearthguards too, which is another part of the dwarf faction, which it's a axe and shield unit.
Huge shields.
I mean, they're not huge shields; they're dwarf-sized shields. So for a dwarf, yes, they're huge. For a human, it's a torso-sized heater shield.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a tower shield or anything. So I mean, it's a tower shield for a dwarf, but
That's what I
again,
mean.
these look great as well. Like just the poses, the detail, like just fantastic.
That's the secondary box, right? That's not in the main box. That was the other one.
Yeah, that's just
one.
yeah. Yep, yeah.
Yeah, no, they do look excellent actually.
And then we've got some Infinity stuff. We got the Hatham Arrow unit, which I mean, it's what Infinity's known for. It's known for its anime-inspired, post-apocalyptic future sci-fi stuff, and this doesn't, let down. It shines. It looks great. It's a weird upright hover bike type thing. Yeah.
It's the one that's kind of like arching down like this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's arching down like that. The guy sitting upright, kind of lean forward in it. Yeah. I mean,
it's nothing like what I'm about to say, but it feels Eldar-esque. It doesn't. It just the hobbitness of it makes it feel that way. I'm not saying it looks like an Eldar vehicle because it doesn't.
It's
Um,
a anime meets Eldar look, I would say.
but most people, when they're doing like the Eldar Vipers and stuff, generally tend to angle them that way because it's just the way it looks cool.
Yeah. And then finally on the minis, the Kestrel expansion pack.
I don't remember that one.
You got you got two soldiers and then a little drone, BB-8 style drone droid.
Nice.
Do you guys know what a Kestrel is?
It's a bird.
It's the smallest falcon, and it hunts other birds.
Oh, okay.
So, but it is the smallest falcon. There's a guy, he drives around with one, and it flies out, and he goes after invasive species with them. They're cute little buggers. They are adorable. I would own one, but I don't want a predatory bird. Again, it's Infinity. It's Corvus Bell. I mean, name a miniature that doesn't look good. Like, yes, it's not going to be someone's favorite, but I've not seen them do a bad one. There's some I
Yeah.
don't like, but they still are good minis as far as it's not like some of the stuff like the one dude from the Warhammer stuff we looked at where it's just like the preacher guy Bruce, that was just like, why?
Well,
Why
he's
they
just
even
kind of
do that?
standing there, and yeah.
Yeah, like that's a terrible mini. None of these look bad like that. So,
I will say, like some of the older Corvus Belli stuff doesn't look as good as their modern stuff, and I would even go as far as to say that I know there are some people that don't like the way Infinity looks because they're not into that anime aesthetic.
yeah,
But I've never heard anybody turn around and say, no, this just looks bad.
yeah, for sure.
And I don't really know of another game that you could say that about.
I mean, it's going to be really hard. Like even like was Steamforge Games. Who were they? Were Privateer Press? Like they had some great stuff for Warhammer Hordes, but there was some stuff that was also a miss. Like everyone's got their hit, and everyone's got their miss. I think Corvus Belli is one of the very small handful of like it may not be to your liking, but it's still not a bad mini. Like the other things we've got coming up from them for the April releases is the Season 17 Tournament Pack, Borderlands Scenery Pack, and then some the Mount Haven Scenery bases for the War Crow Dwarves. Oh my god, that is a tongue twister. War Crow Dwarves.
Yeah. I mean, they've been doing scenic bases for most of the releases now.
We'll go ahead and pull those up real quick.
I like scenic bases. I know not everybody does, but in a skirmish game, it kind of makes sense because, I mean, yes, they're expensive, but you're not having to make a full army out of them. And you know what? For people, the reason I like them is that for people that are newer to the hobby, it's a much easier way in.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
you put them on, you paint them with your mini. There's nothing else to really do.
Well, and these ones are pretty cool too because it looks like they're down in their mines. I mean, you got tracks of like for the iron carts and stuff like that, and shovels and barrels on the bases. So they have them in that aesthetic of their homeland too, which is cool.
It's a very faction appropriate base for sure. Yeah, I was gonna say bases like this are the gateway drug of basing, where it's like I could buy this and it looks cool. Hey, it'd be cool if I did this. It'd be even cooler if I did this and this and this and this. And the next thing you know, it's just like you're spending, a third of the time of the mini on just the basing.
Yeah. I mean, we will discuss basing at some point in the future. There's definitely a game talk topic that we're going to come down to after a recent conversation George and I had with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll save most of our thoughts for that later. But basing can really become a trap if you're not careful with it. Like you really can go down that path.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah, for sure. Next on the list, we have a faction of probably one of the worst groups of individuals ever to exist, the Pinkertons.
Okay, yeah. I got very confused for a second.
Well, if you look at the Pinkertons in their very early years, they were barely better than murderers and criminals and thieves. Barely.
I mean, I've mentioned a few times about how I find it ironic that, like, in the lore of the Wild West, if you actually look into what happened in real life, often the law was actually worse than the criminals were, because they tended to have been criminals that were just boosted up into those roles anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
But for a long time, Pinkertons was just something that was in movies and stuff, and I had always assumed, because I'm an Australian, I don't know these things. I'd always just assumed that it was kind of like a name that had been made up for the show or the movies or whatever. It wasn't until I got older that I realized, oh no, these people were real. So I kept on looking for like the other side of like why they either weren't as good as, so why they weren't as bad as everybody says,
Yep.
or they were actually, and it's like, oh, there's really nothing positive here. Or if there is, I've never found it.
As an Australian, Bruce, I don't know if you're aware or not, but the Pinkertons actually still exist as an organization.
I had heard that like there's been a few conspiracy theories about them recently.
No, God, how long ago was that? Like 20 some odd years. I was fresh out of high school. When I went to school in Phoenix, my roommate, he got a job with Pinkerton Security patrolling a building. So
Yeah.
they're still a thing. They're not as dastardly and
Evil.
I was gonna say law breaking as the original Pinkertons were.
It was the nature of the beast back then, right? Not that I'm saying that makes up for it, but it's just the way that the Wild West was.
Well, it's like
there was no good people in the Wild West.
It's like the East India Trading Company. They had to do what they had to do what they did. So I mean, it's like, civilization was not very civilized back then.
No.
But digressing, these are great looking minis. Like, I would love to see these. Like, I'm assuming the scale is pretty close to Wild West Exodus, Bruce.
Well, they're STL, so you could scale them up and down accordingly. But I believe they're intended. I believe they're intended to be 28-32 scale type stuff. Yeah, I actually think they look magnificent.
Oh, they absolutely the bowler hats, which was the more gentlemanly hat for the era. That was what also, like, oh, you're a Pinkerton, you got a bowler hat, not a cowboy hat.
Regular cowboy hat.
Yeah, I think I would love to see these used as proxies or as part of a faction in Wild West Exodus. I think that's just a great, unless there's something in Wild West Exodus that fits this role.
I don't know if there are any Pinkertons in Wild West Exodus, or if there is, they're not pointed out as like a thing. But they would probably go in the Enlightened, I guess, probably because they're known for having lots of money and being questionable. But I don't know if they've actually. I'll have to look into that.
I've given a Bruce an idea.
I'm half waiting for the bowler hat to be a thing that comes back, fashion-wise. But top hats had their time of coming back and they're gone again. Flat caps have never really gone away. I don't know that bowler hats have really made a resurgence at any point.
Because that's more of a status type thing, right? So flat caps never went away because that was the everyman's hat. Top hats, that was for like, the gentlemen, the landowners, those type guys. Like, they had the top hats that they wore to the fancy dress when, wearing a tuxedo was, a 3 times a month, occurrence. So,
it's possible the bowler hats might be harder to make as well. I don't know. I'm guessing.
There's guys out there, like, they're fascinating to watch, but they actually make felt hats. Like, they show them making custom felt hats, and I think I think it's one of those status things too, where it's like, the fedora is still a very common thing because of like the subclass that it was in. I think the bowler hat was one of those like gentlemanly classes that wasn't quite top hat, but I don't know if we'll see a resurgence in it just because of that status. What's the word?
Symbol?
No, like class of people. Like you got your
The
redneck
class?
type folks, your middle class, your upper class, stuff like that. I don't think that class of
Stereotype.
people. Yeah, there you go. I don't think we'll ever see that again because of what society is. That being said, though,
You know
it
what I
is
like about fedoras? What I really like about fedoras is that most people that think they're wearing them aren't wearing a fedora.
well the
The
ones
whole
that
meme
are
about the guy tipping his hat. Yeah.
yeah the ones that are wearing fedoras too. They also have like a beard that goes all the way down, and are really creepy and weird. If you're one of those people, I apologize. I didn't mean to make fun of you like that, but it is the thing. That being said, I do like these minis. I was scrolling down a little bit. The Pinkerman Rifleman. Uh, nice lord. Like that's such a great looking mini. Like he's got the waistcoat, you got the pocket watch chain, the normal jacket, a good lever action rifle. Like I mean that is Wild West Americana, like to the T. Like even the mustache style. Like Socks can't find anything wrong with it, like Americana wise, right? Like
Yeah.
it is perfect. Like that miniature, you can pull it straight out of the Tombstone movie and like put it on the
Yeah.
base.
Yeah. I think the thing it would be very easy to just like, oh, he needs a mustache, we'll just give him a mustache. But when you have somebody that's passionate enough about what they're doing, where they make the details right, it's really nice to see.
Yeah, actually, I just found all the individual photos. So we got the Pinkerton boss up, which is funny because the boss has got his arm in a sling. Back then,
Yeah.
the boss would have like the cleanest boots, the nicest jacket. Like he'd have clean fingernails.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
No, not an arm
he
in a
doesn't
sling.
do the. Yeah, he doesn't do that. He has people for that.
Right. Then we got the bomber here. I think this is a good one too because that's also a very classic, like the round bomb with the giant, wick. Like that's what they had back then.
Yep.
I grew up thinking that that was just a thing that was in cartoons and that that wasn't a real thing. Learning as an adult that like cherry bombs actually existed blew my mind at one point.
That's a weird dichotomy right there. Like Socks and I were just like we grew up with the stuff and like like yes, this is pretty like
Americana historical.
Americana, like yes, this stuff happened in history, and yes, this is a fanciful story, but for like an Australian or someone in the UK, Germany, France, or whatever, like, oh, this is wild, this is really cool. It's just like, oh wait, this is actually like very based on history.
It's like us
What
thinking about the Knights.
they
Templar.
did that? Holy crap! These Americans are crazy.
Well, I think the thing that it made me assume that it was a fictional thing because it was always a cherry bomb in cartoons.
Yeah,
Is it was such a
Yeah.
simple thing to draw, and it was always kind of like an exaggerated size. So when I started to grow up, the assumption was that it was just a cartoon bomb.
what do you mean started? Let's be honest. We've never really grown up, Bruce.
That's fair. I've grown older, not grown up.
There you go. I'm gonna pull this one up real quick because it's the Femme Fatales.
Yeah.
Yep,
I was looking at those ones too, and those ones are pretty cool too.
The Day
I
with
quite
No
like the mouse
Name,
stuff too.
Chickadee, California Kate.
I love
Oh,
the
Dicey
names are
Lee.
awesome.
Oh, absolutely, the nice. But Dicey Lee, that is a great mini right there. Actually, California Kate's great too because it goes to I'll use something you're
Typical
familiar
saloon
with,
girl.
but Deadwood, right? All these girls, like California Kate, Dicey Lee, they look like they could have been in Al Swearengen's casino in Deadwood.
I mean, they're I can't think of the Pinkerton Casino across the road that everybody hated.
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I'm trying to think of the name of the girl that comes from there that ends up being with Swearingen for a while. I can't think of what her name was.
But yeah, Knuckle Duster Miniatures, also great name for the miniatures too. Like,
Especially for the day.
right? Yeah, these are pretty good.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree. I really like this stuff.
Bruce, get yourself a resin 3D printer, print them out, and add them to a Wild West Exodus army.
I already have a resin 3D printer.
Well, then print them out for Wild West Exodus then.
Or Dead Man's Hand, or like, yeah.
Any of them. All right. Next
to Sox' favorite game in the world. What's that game, Sox?
Dystopian Wars.
No,
No, there's
Warhammer
nothing about
40K.
Dystopian Wars on the.
I know
nothing
there's
about
nothing about that
Dystopian
on
Wars
this
the
one.
list.
Oh, this thing that's called 40K or whatever this nonsense is.
Warhammer 40,000.
Yeah, get it right, Stocks.
We have a Vanguard veteran that's been revealed. I saw a meme about this earlier this week, and
it's been everywhere.
It's a different head on another mini that's already been released.
Yeah.
Like,
so to be fair, that's not new with anything Space Marine.
Yeah, but I mean, like, literally, the only difference is the helmets. Like, that's the only difference.
Yeah.
Like,
to be fair, the original Vanguard, like, there is another link there to the on tabletop where they actually show them side by side, and you could make the argument about the originals as well, because it is essentially just a jump pack Space Marine. The original.
let's be honest here. The largest company in the miniature gaming world does some of the most amazing sculpts that are mind-blowing and amazing, but then they turn around and they do some of the laziest rework possible.
They can do some of the most amazing sculpts in the industry when they can be bothered or when they feel like they have to. A lot of what they do does tend to be recycled.
Hey, just put a different helmet in the kit. Say it's new, and people will buy it. Tell me I'm
Don't
wrong.
buy it. She has a different hat. Oh my god, she has a different hat. I can't think of the name of the character, but Lisa Simpson has this dull. It's become a meme now.
Well, like I
She realizes
vaguely
that it's just a.
I vaguely know what you're talking about. It's a good looking mini. I would have liked to see something different. Like, I mean, it's not even like they just changed the helmet. That's all they changed. Like, it's the same paint job for the most part.
Yeah, it's a very lazy sculpt. But it's not unusual for us to kind of call Games Workshop on this sort of stuff. It feels unusual for us to be agreeing with people. I'm a Blood Angels person. Like, I mean, I haven't played for years, but like, I've always loved the Blood Angels.
Explains a lot.
One of the things I find frustrating about Space Marines is they all essentially look the same. It is very boring.
That's why Space Wolves are the best, because they have the most drastic look from all other Space Marines.
Yeah, but it's still just a Space Marine, but with hair and beards.
And Wolfen, and the Gunship, and Wolf Riders, and just Wolves, and Space Wolves, I think, have some of the most unique units out of all the Space Marine factions. You know, if you look at everything, like, everyone can use just about everything, but there's like so many for the Space Wolves that are different. So, but I digress.
They have more of their own things than other people do.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's a good looking mini, but on a scale of, just like it's like the meme of like, yeah, sure, you can copy my homework, but don't make it look like mine. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll change the head.
Now that we've talked about everything we don't like about it, we should give Socks a chance to say everything that he loves about the Mini.
Go.
Nope, not gonna happen. Sorry.
He loves it
Alrighty.
so much that he doesn't want to bore the people with his passion.
That's right.
All right. Next on the list, new Vanguard veteran. Oh wait. Oh, this is the same thing.
That's the
I
comparison.
literally told you the link was
Yep.
there. Yeah.
Yep.
So we got Mantic.
So next on it, yeah, is Mantic with some epic stuff. And when I say epic, I mean tiny. Epic scale.
So the Veerman is the big one for me because that's the Ratman. They've got a couple of armies that they've released the entrance packs for. They're doing like sales at the moment for like essentially an army in a box type thing. A lot of these sculpts are far better than they have any right to. I mean, we have seen most of this when the Kickstarter was live, but actually seeing like the actual real sculpts and not just because obviously what we were looking at originally was renders and stuff, and actually seeing the real thing actually painted and actually existing is really nice.
So, hot take, I don't like epic scale. Like,
Oh, no, I'm with you.
was a cool game, but the one thing I could not stand about it, please don't hate me, Dave, I could not stand the scale of it. I don't like... I'm sorry, I had to have a vision waiver to be in the military. My eyesight's so bad. I don't like painting stuff that's this big.
That's fair.
It's...
Smaller scale games, and I mean scale of the miniatures, does tend to be a niche. It is a niche that seems to have been more popular now than it was when it was first done. I will agree with Dave on one thing, and I think he touched on this during our interview, but there is a reason why he didn't do epic scale and why he did 15 mil instead.
Yeah.
I mean, for starters, it was about the size where the tanks would be the size of a Space Marine, which is essentially what he wanted. But it wasn't that small that it was too small. It was a more reasonable scale, and that's largely what most of the rest of the industry has done, is kind of follow suit with that, accidentally or otherwise.
Yeah.
I'm just scrolling through some of the army stuff here. We're looking at the orcs right now.
Yep.
Ooh, those guys look cool. They kind of like how to describe it? They've got kind of like the football armor, sort of, where it's like they've got the half helmet and just their jaws hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to describe them. Those look really cool. But again, I would loathe to paint something like that on epic scale.
Yeah, but it's fine. I find it interesting that because the thing with smaller scales, like the stereotype was always that it was only old men that really liked them, and I don't think that has ever really been true. But the stereotype, like because as you get older, obviously your eyesight starts to fail you and stuff, never really made a lot of sense, right?
I have these glasses on so I can read. I can see fine like this when I'm driving. I have to put these on just to read. Screw tiny things. I want things I can be able to see like this. Not have to... I mean, for crying out loud, can you see it right there? I have a magnifying lens to paint with, for Christ's sake.
Neither of us are having a go at you for your opinion on this, you will notice. I don't know why you're defending yourself. Socks?
Yes.
What's the scale of the epic game that you've got?
So I've got two.
The Roman one.
It's Hail Caesar, and I've got the Civil War one, the American Civil War. So those are both epic scale. And I like...
They're both 10 mil, right?
About 13, 15 mil, roughly.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I like that scale because I can do bigger size battles with them. Whereas you go to a mil scale, and you can only do a small portion of a larger battle. I like the epic scale, so I can do a huge
because
Yeah.
he's a nerd and likes historical and likes to reenact the actual giant battles of history. Because he's a nerd.
I actually have some stuff because on my vacation we went somewhere and I bought some stuff while I was there. I'll show that later during hobby time stuff. But you're right, George.
You bought nerd stuff, you nerd.
I bought nerd stuff.
Have you finished counting all of the buttons on the miniature socks? Is there the right amount? I want you to paint one miniature from that set in the wrong colors.
The wrong colors?
Just one.
Ooh, ow. Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I want you to paint British redcoats in a British racing green. British redcoats in British racing green because it's still a British color.
So much fun. Look at him squirm.
Do you know
the idea of getting it wrong?
Do you know how many people you could just make them like take their keyboard and just throw it out a window and just
about every one of us that's historical maniacs?
God, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll buy some British, like revolutionary British, and I will paint them with their stupid little white pants and their stupid little black hats, and then paint them British racing green instead of red.
I mean, I was going to paint my Germans up as Cobra troops there at one point.
No. For your German troops, you gotta do them pink with white hats, because that's very German.
Sure.
Next on the list, medieval farm animals, because
can't get enough of them.
It's a thing. Like
George looks so confused.
I mean, of all the things to make miniatures out of, like, this is a very specific thing. Not dogs, medieval
chickens,
farm animals.
Goats.
Look at that ass. Look at the ass. Like, it's brain.
I like the oxen more than anything else, but the cattle. I don't know if they're actually oxen.
I would say those are actually Highlanders, Scottish Highlanders. Or
the thing I really like about this
fluffy cows
is because the thing that you always want to do is you want to have a table that's all fleshed out and stuff. And look, do farm animals matter on a table? No, obviously they don't. But having the option to do them in a game and have them around as potential casualties or like potential animals that might see you and charge after you, or something. It's just fun, right?
Ooh, actually, I just saw something fun. There's geese.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They have armor class of 1, ballistic skill of 6, weapon skill of 10. Like, right? I mean, they're scary. Like, they've got 4d6 of charge.
I really like that idea. But I mean, Victrix have a few sets out there. This was previewed recently, and I was like, you know what? This is a really fun idea. I mean, I know it's kind of pointless, and that's fine, because I don't think George is alone on this. I think a lot of people would look at this and go, I don't understand why they're doing it. But it's just about fleshing out the table. Plus, you've potentially got the diorama people out there that will use it as well.
Well, and let's be honest too. For the D&D people, this is heroin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, I could have a fluffy cow on the table that they have to escort through the mountain pass with the goblins, and then they get attacked by a flock of geese.
Well, have you seen how many you get? It's $41, and you get 104 farm animals. It's a large quantity of animals that you get.
I did not. Oh my god! 16 sheep, 8 goats, 4 donkeys,
24 geese.
24 geese. Oh my god! You could make an
army.
An army of geese. Yeah. Holy crap! That is a buttload of minis for that price.
It's a really good investment. Yeah. Assuming that you have a game that they're suitable for.
I just clicked.
Barnyard.
I just clicked on a different picture, and like the scale of them's actually pretty decent too. I mean, the birds are obviously a little bigger than they should be, but
Yeah, but that's always going to happen with certain scales anyway. I'm trying to remember if they are actually 28 mil or if they're 15 mil.
It's 28 mil.
It is 28? Okay, I was just double
Yeah.
checking because I know they do both.
I will say the fluffy cows are the ideal thing to slap chop.
Yes.
Yes.
With all that
actually.
texture, oh my god.
With the birds being out of scale, the problem with birds quite frequently is that, like,
Yeah,
if you do them at the real size, you can't really see any of the detail.
yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I'm not saying like that's like it's like what Mel talked about with trees. Like this is what a tree
Yeah.
looks like on a game table. Not even remotely close in real life.
It's like in that is it the halfling set that I bought for Blood Bowl, where they have the squirrels and the badgers and stuff.
Yeah.
There was something that had a squirrel in a tree at some point. I don't remember. I don't think it was that set. It was something else. But the squirrel was massively larger than it should be, and it's for the same reason.
Oh yeah.
Because if you do it at the right size, you're just not going to see any of the detail. It'll just look like it's unfinished.
Well, I mean, it's like this, right? This looks like a great size of tree for a game. Show me a tree like this in real life that looks like this when you stand next to it. You can't. A tree that looks like this is 10 times bigger than you. But it looks
Yeah.
alright to play a game with,
Yeah.
so.
Look at the fifth picture over, George. You'll see three pigs. Look closely in the background.
Oh, there's a little
archer.
hunter with his bow.
Yeah. About ready to have some bacon.
I could tell you which one he's aiming at. The one on the far left, because the one on the far right is the mom. And if he
Yeah.
accidentally misses the mom and hits the piglet, she's going to kill him.
Yep.
Because, yes. It's a cool little concept. I didn't even look to see how many minis came for that price. That is a ridiculous amount of value for that price.
It's a really good value set, yeah.
Also,
when I bought those Germans that I bought recently, I was almost going to buy a Victrix set of them, which were, I mean, in Australia, they're surprisingly expensive for some reason, like more so than they should be. But you got like a huge, basically, it was an entire fleet in one. I say fleet, it's not a fleet, it's a squadron in one box. It was cool.
Doesn't Australia have some very stringent laws on livestock imports? Oh, I couldn't help myself there. Sorry. I'd have to say my favorite. Oh my god! Oh my god! One of the pig. I'm scrolling through like just the gray minis. One of the pigs is actually a mother and has swollen teats. Yes, that's the appropriate term.
Yep.
I'd have to say my favorite mini though is the braying donkey.
Yeah.
Like, when you think of a donkey, what do donkeys do? They're sitting there yelling their stupid heads off. It's so perfect.
I just thought of the perfect use for these. Get a bunch of farmers and do the war from Animal Farm.
Oh
yeah.
I don't even care what rule set you use. That would be so much fun to play out.
Oh my god. You could only use
If you don't know what I'm referring to, get yourself an education. Go and watch the cartoon that was made in the 70s. It's actually better than it should be.
Next on our list, TT Combat. The Guy Fawkes ship. I thought we already talked about this, but I'm more than happy to talk about this again because it's.
I might have linked the wrong thing. Go back to the main page.
You would never link the wrong thing, Bruce.
There's a new thing for Carnivale that I was meant to be linking. I don't know how I did that. Sorry.
Oh, Extreme Doctor.
I did all. Yeah.
Oh,
I did all of this on my phone at midnight.
Wow, that is dope.
It's bad, yeah. It's badass, right?
It's
It is
like
cool.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea meets Aquaman meets BioShock.
I'm yet to see one of these extreme miniatures not feel top of the heap.
That is so. Oh my
And
god! That
each of these feel like they're like a display as well, like almost like they're too good to be played with.
I
I
like how
just
he's posed like he's about ready to jump into the water and just stab something off the
I
bridge.
I cannot articulate how much I love this. Like words are escaping me.
I like your description, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, because that actually, yeah, that feels very appropriate.
But it's 20,000 meets Aquaman meets BioShock. Like
Yeah.
it's there's so much. There needs to be a helmetless model version, and you can paint his face to look like Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah.
If you haven't
Yep.
seen that movie, watch that movie. If you don't know what movie I'm talking about, look up
Go
Cuba
find it.
Gooding Jr.'s filmography.
Genuinely excellent movie.
Yeah, I think all this other stuff here we've already talked about previous episode. It was just the
Yep.
Extreme Doctor. But there's one
Yep.
other thing you found from TT Combat. Uh, hey, look, it's a floor upgrade pack. We're gonna upgrade the floor.
It's not just that set.
I know, but a floor upgrade pack. Come on, like it's the most underwhelming yet cool thing. No, it's just
That's why it's an option.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
a better looking floor for your
All your
terrain
chroma
stuff.
terrain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, what this is, it's a whole series of tournament legal terrain that they're releasing. That's obviously being aimed at the big game that everybody aims their terrain at. Because of course, with the new edition coming, they've also changed what's going to be legal for tournaments and whatnot because they keep on trying to kill off the third-party businesses, which doesn't work because they just release new stuff.
Let's
And
be
yeah, as
honest.
part of that,
Go ahead, finish your thought.
as part of that, they've released a pack of upgrading the floors so that you also have, because like a lot of the time it's just a building. You may have levels and stuff, but there's usually no point doing the underground, so it's the actual ground because that's what the table's for. Whereas they've given people the option that actually want to have a floor on the building.
So I will say this, right? So Games Workshop, when they make terrain, the terrain does look good. Like, but they've really shot themselves in the foot by not going past ejected molded plastic terrain. When you have companies like Sarissa Precision, TT Combat, we could probably, go through and just do a list of just who does really good MDF terrain.
MDF. Blacksite
Yeah.
Studios.
Blacksite Studios, Warsenal. I mean, there's more out there than we can probably, list because, the independent shops. These companies will always be able to out terrain Games Workshop because, it's MDF. We just sketch it up, lay it out 2D, and now they have chroma. So now we can pre-paint it. So you just go pop, put it together, and it's done. And Games Workshop can change the rule set every year on what is, terrain, tournament stuff and everything, and they will always get outdone by these companies because they haven't changed.
The other side of the equation of that, and this is the side of the coin that they will never acknowledge, is realistically the hard plastic terrain, as nice as it looks, isn't worth it. And it's not even vaguely worth it. It's just
The
because
only
doing those big large kits.
Yeah, the only place it has a place for is display boards.
Mm.
Because, it is more 3D. It does have slightly more detail because it is slightly more 3D. It works for a display board for, here's my painted army. Judge my army on its painting. But to sit down and to cram in a 1,000-point game into 30 minutes, this is the best terrain. Like,
Yeah.
it's already got all the coloring on it. Like, it looks good. $371 for an entire table's worth, essentially, for, call it a 4x4, which is what you're going to play in a tournament. You can't beat that. If you were to do that in plastic, it'd be double the price, and you'd still have to paint it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, you can get an MDF kit to look as 3D as one of the hard plastic ones, but it requires a lot of work.
Mhm.
And honestly, I don't think it's really worth it for terrain, especially at a tournament level. There's no point because it's all gonna get ruined in tournament play anyway.
Yep.
Yeah.
So actually, I just clicked on the Wonder Hive Mega Board bundle, which is $630. Holy crap!
It's a lot of terrain. A lot of levels. It looks good though.
Well,
It
and here's
does
the
look
best
good,
part.
yeah.
Here's the best part, and this you both probably overlooked this. It's color coded.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, true.
So, like, let's say you have 4 tables of this. Let's say you have that kind of budget to drop four tables worth of this. You can have color coded objectives as part of the tournament.
Yep.
So, that this right here, the Wonder Hive, is probably one of the most complete terrain sets I've seen for a board. Like, yeah, that's a lot of money, but that'll do a 6x4 easy.
Yeah.
Um,
And it like you said, it's already color coded, so all you have to
yeah.
do is glue it together.
Well, let's be honest. Some parts of that MDF terrain, you don't have to glue too much of it together because it just slides together and sticks together so easily.
True. Especially
Uh,
if it's tournament play, you want to be able to pack it away easily as well.
yeah. Got. I mean, I don't want to give him too much credit because it sounds like we'll be sucking up, but God, TT Combat's just killing it on terrain here lately.
Yeah.
Excited to see their stuff for Strike Team and Battlezone as they come out with.
I just realized
actual-
a second ago that there was an update on Strike Team during the week that actually showed off some of the maps for Strike Team Commander.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
did. I'll see if I can pull that up on a different window and then maybe open it here. I don't have the brain power for like that. We'll talk about that.
We'll look about that another time, another
next
update or something.
Yeah.
Then lastly, we have hey, let me close out my Facebook stuff. All of my chats got open because people sent me messages.
Yeah, that's always an issue from my side as well.
Well, like, some of my stuff is very politically heated right now. I don't know why it would be politically heated. Socks, do you know why
There's
we'd be
definitely no reason.
politically heated comments right now?
No.
No. But thanks to Mark McKenzie at Salute, he sent some dope pictures that Michelle posted in the Facebook group. Oh my god.
That Resistance Dreadnought looks amazing.
I love the curved nature of the way it is at the back, and it's so good.
It's got the little geodesic domes for, like, a lack of
Biosphere.
better words, like I was gonna say a hydroponics bay.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, for what it's worth, I mean, it's very clearly a prototype. This is very clearly 3D printed. It hasn't gone into well, it may have gone into plastics, but it's obviously not ready to be shown in plastics at the con yet. I don't believe there's been nothing spoken about like release dates or anything at this. I don't know if it's going to be plastic or not. I'm kind of crossing their fingers and hoping that it will be.
See if I can do this. Is it going to let me? Oh, wrong key. There we go.
But it's just so pretty. There is another one later on, which I'm trying to think what the later one was. Is it a Biophysis ship?
It's a Biophyser.
There is a Biophyser.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, it was very late when I looked at this.
Even if this is just 3D printed resin, I'm sorry. I would be happy to drop the money on that with 3D printed resin the way that looks. Like, it's such a versatile looking like ship too. Like, it's got bombardment torpedoes. Obviously, it's got lots of missiles on the side. It's got a couple of big guns on the front. Like, this screams resistance of, we're gonna take all this stuff and put it in one thing.
Slap it all together.
It's like that scene in Iron Man 2 where Justin Hammer's going over all the weapons and he's like, so what do you want? And he's like, yes.
I want it all.
Yeah. Like, that's what this is. It's like, it looks like it's got a little bit of everything on it.
Yeah, it really does. And that Resistance Dreadnought is highlight, because I would even say that looks like, because there was some previews that we got at Adepticon too, but this blows all of them out of the water. It's gorgeous.
So I've got the Biophyser ship up right now. You know what it looks like? It looks like a pistol.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Like, it just straight up looks like a pistol. So now it's like, it looks like it's just a space floating gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
just
a gun. Like nothing else. It goes pew. Pew, pew, pew.
It still functions.
Big shout out to Mark for taking these photos and getting them posted to the group. So, and Michelle for getting it posted to the group too. Like, oh,
I so wish I could go to Salute one year. I really would love to do that. It looks like such an awesome con. Every year it looks so cool.
Well, I mean, it's the UK's version of like Adepticon and Gen Con. Like it's but you're always going to get a little bit more just because a majority of these companies are UK based. So it's like they just have to drive down the road. So it's a lot easier. Like
a lot easier.
Like Dave could have been working on this till like 2 a.m. for like a week, and then like set it to a 3D printer, and they could have printed out, got it cleaned up, and then literally drove through the night to like go put it in the case the next day. Like that's the capability they have with Salute, being based where they're at.
To be clear, we're not saying that's what they did.
No.
I mean, if you were to say, that's what they did, I wouldn't, say they did it, like disbelieve you. Like I could like totally buy it. Like, come on, Dave was up till what time talking to us when we reviewed him?
I know. Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past to be like, I'm gonna sit here for the next 3 hours moving these little lines so they're perfect. Done, export, print, wash, cure. Come to my house and pick this up and take to the con. Tell me Dave wouldn't do that. I'm not saying he did, but tell me he wouldn't.
I don't think he'd be the one printing it.
No.
That's fair.
I mean, Dave might 3D print. I don't know, but I have a feeling that he wouldn't be the one printing it.
It's a sort of thing where Dave has people for that.
Yeah. He gets paid for the sculpting.
Last thing on the list, some more terrain. It's like we just talked about a bunch of terrain, but this is different terrain. This is
Roman era.
Is it Roman era? I wouldn't.
It's Roman.
It's ancient Roman.
It's ancient Roman.
I mean, you could make arguments that it could be used in a lot of different places, but it is being sold as ancient Roman.
I was gonna say that looks pretty just generic. Like, okay,
Yeah.
the Roman fish pond, yes, that looks Roman. That barracks block A and barracks block B, that looks like that could be British. That looks like that could be Spanish. That looks very generic European.
Well,
Even
Roman
that,
influence did grip most of that continent for a long time.
I get that. I get that. But even the early Roman villa, like that looks like something you would see on a hillside in Spain or France even. Like it's got the, the wood. I don't know what the
Lattice.
yeah. Like
Well, think about it. How big was the Roman Empire?
Not as
All the way
big
into
as the
Britain.
Mongolian.
So, I mean,
not as big as the British Empire.
no.
The sun did set on the Roman Empire, but for a time it did not set on the British Empire.
That's fair. The Mongolian Empire is still the biggest of them, though. The
So,
English one took up a larger area, but it was all scattered.
yeah, that's true. While it does say Roman, and I know Socks will argue me till he's as blue as his shirt. This is pretty good, like generic, like Victorian era terrain too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't. You could use this in so many settings; it doesn't matter. I mean, it's being billed as Roman, as ancient Roman, because it's where the designs come from. But
To be fair,
I love the variety in it.
To be fair, too, the way Romans design things, they're still around. So
Yeah.
we have streets in America that are literally unsafe to drive on, while roads built by the Roman Empire you can still cruise down and they're smooth as a whistle.
That's not true, but yeah, sure.
Where did you get photos for Entry City from, Bruce? Detroit?
No, it's the Roman roads being as smooth as a whistle I was arguing about, because that wasn't how they built roads back then.
Yeah, but if you look at roads in Detroit, the Roman roads are still smoother.
No, okay. Yeah, okay.
Also,
Yeah, well,
Romans had slaves to build roads too, so like manpower is a lot easier to do it right.
yeah, but at the same time, and this is something that I think we forget in modern life, slaves in Roman Empire wasn't really how we think about slaves today.
That's true.
It was just like they
That's
were
true.
employees.
Well,
Yeah.
they were
Well,
captured soldiers from other territories that they captured.
not always.
Not
Yes,
always.
some
You're
of them
right.
would have been. Most slaves in Roman
There we go.
times, like in Roman times, all three of us would have most likely been considered slaves. Fox was probably the only one that might be an exception to that.
Speak for yourself.
Because
I'm
we are all employees, and employees in Roman times were slaves.
a landowner.
Good point. But do you use that land to make an income?
Yes. My family has apartments, Bruce. We have housing.
Okay.
People pay my family for shelter.
Fair enough.
So I reloaded the page there because some of the images weren't loading. It was the stores, the large store, medium store, small store, like the storage houses, like those images didn't load. Oddly enough, I like the stone granary.
Okay, yeah. I mean, a granary is it's another one of those. You're calling a lot of this could be used universally, and of all of them, that would be the thing that you could find pretty much anywhere in the world, right?
Well, no, here's why I like it. Like, so we'll use my phone as an example, right? This is a building. It's on the play mat. It is a rectangle that sits on there. The granary has things that jut out of it, so like you could hide in that and break line of sight while being on the side of the building. Like it's It's terrain with terrain.
Yeah.
Yep.
Excuse me. Let's go to page 2. What's on page 2?
They have a couple big villas down below too that look really nice.
A villa.
About third row down.
Villas are always fun.
Oh yeah, those look really good. The hurling stone, the
Oakden.
yeah, Oakden, and the
Waterthorn.
Waterthorn. And then we have some walls. A long wall, a medium wall,
And a short.
and a short wall.
I love how tedious you're making that sound, but that is a very important distinction to have with walls. I mean, all walls look the same, but like you need to have medium and short ones as well. You can't just all have long ones.
It's like buses. I would be the medium bus. Socks is the long bus. But Bruce is the short bus. So he'd be the short wall. I'm sorry, Bruce, I had to do it. Do you not know about the short bus, Bruce?
I mean, no.
Okay, so in America it's a joke of like, oh, you must ride the short bus because you're special.
Oh, okay. So it's the licking windows thing. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So to make you feel better, I have a short bus parked out in my field.
Which
So
is where you live.
Not only do I ride the short bus, I drive that short bus. No. This is a really cool terrain set. I could see it being like this hurts me to say it, like so bad, but this would make a really good cohesive European village for a historical war game.
Yeah. But if you dirtied it up, you could probably even push it as far as World War One and Two. You'd really have to ruin it up a little bit, though.
That's
Like
still
if you wanted to,
that's still historical, Bruce. Like that's why it's
yes,
painting
but
me.
it's a long time after the ancient Romans.
But it's historical. Historical's gross.
Historical is awesome. We're going to talk about historicals here in a little bit.
No, because only nerds play historical.
Use it in 40k and put a random bit of sci-fi tech and a skull on it somewhere. It'll be fine.
A servitor?
Yep, a servitor on top and 10 million skulls around the base.
Skulls for the Skull Villa.
Yes.
I think that's it for the news.
I think so too.
I guess it's time for what number is that? 4.
Cream, blue, crying, paint.
For those of you who may notice, Bruce is no longer with us visually, but he's still here audioly. Yeah, there we go. That one. Say hi, Bruce.
Help, I've been locked behind the door.
And the gay thing's prepared because Bruce is visiting his mother, which she deserves to be visited by Bruce. Not sure why. But I did not get the screen for all 3 of our pretty little faces, so you're saved the horror of his face for the rest of the episode.
Yep. Woe is you for missing out on my beauty.
That being said, though, Bruce, what have you been up to for hobby before you caught a plane down to Tassie?
I haven't really had a chance to do any, honestly. I mean, I worked on Inter-City rules for a little bit. I don't. There was a few minor updates I made to the rules document and stuff. I don't know if I touched on this last time, but the public releases that I'm doing, I'm starting to remove all of the my notes stuff that had been included up until now, because essentially what I was doing is I was just copying out what I was using for my notes and just allowing people to look at it. And uh, there was quite frequently, well, I say frequently, occasionally I'd get comments from people who would be like, I don't understand why this is in here. Talking about, like, for example, there was like a section of like skills and traits that aren't tested. They're just kind of there as notes for things. They were like potential skills characters could have, some of which were good, some of which were bad. And it was kind of, I was trying to like, I wanted to have some like individual stuff like what Malifaux does. So I've started removing that out of the document before I publish it, just because it makes it less confusing. To kind of see, like, there's sections that are just there for my notes and stuff, which people don't need to see, because it doesn't really matter, and it just adds confusion and stuff. I thought about trying to bring some hobby down with me, but then I would have had the issue of trying to get it back without ruining whatever it is that I worked on. So I just kind of went without. I hear that Socks has done all of the hobby in the world, and that's why he
Yes.
started putting it in boxes.
Yes. So we, George and Bruce know this. I'm getting ready to move. We actually got movers scheduled for about a month from now. So I'm starting to have to pack up a lot of my stuff to get ready for that. But I was on vacation.
George and I have comments about this too.
I know, right? But I was on vacation a couple weeks ago, in between a couple of trainings that I had for work. And while we were there, we went to, speaking of historicals, George, we went to the battlefield Gettysburg in Pennsylvania.
Oh,
I should have thumbs down that.
You did show a thumbs down. But so while we were there in town, we were down eating some pizza for dinner, and I happened to look down the street, and there was a miniature store.
That's not historical.
I know that. I'm getting to that. There was a miniature store, a gaming miniature store, just down the street from this little pizza shop. And in there...
But that's not historical. You should have been eating Scrapple if you're in the Pennsylvania area.
Okay, fine, whatever. In there, I found... It's going to glare because I haven't unwrapped it yet, but I found some Confederates and some Union brigades to add on to my already pile of shame that I have. But now let me just take this one off right now. So
I have a question, Socks. While you were in Gettysburg, did you make an address?
I did. I talked to my kids all about it, and as we're going around the entire battlefield, I was talking to them about.
Can you tell that this is the only reference I know to Gettysburg? It's the Gettysburg address. I don't even know what the address is. I just know that it's a thing.
It was 407 years ago. Our forefathers brought forth on this country a new nation. Or no,
that's right. It's the Arnold It's in the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
On this continent, a new nation. Sorry, not this country, but on this continent, a new nation. That's all I know off the top of my head. I'm also gonna. You're gonna laugh at me for this, Bruce. I thought I had it set up, but the Discord capture in OBS for audio is not working. So I'm gonna have to pray that my audio capture on my laptop is good, and then import it over to my desktop, and then overlay it with the video to where it matches up.
Anyways.
Are you telling me that we may lose this entire episode?
No, I'm not saying that. My audio's working, but I have to take the audio from my laptop and import it into the video version because only my audio is being captured on the video version.
Okay.
Anyways, back to what I was saying. While I was there too, besides finding those 2 brigade upgrade packs, I found from Sarisa pack the Gettysburg scenery pack that they have. And so it's got the tower, the little seminary tower that one of the generals used during the battle, as well as the little gatehouse. So I'm looking forward to being able to put that together later on when I move and get that all painted up. But then today, one of my Kickstarters showed up, and is the Flashpoint Golden State Heroes pack. So this is a set up in Southern California time area, and it's kind of like the
Is that based off the Lost Bust movie time frame like a few years ago with
Yeah.
McConaughey? Though that is freaking too soon, but freaking cool.
So it's do you guys know those legacy style games, right? Where you build on the little campaign as you go. It's kind of
Yeah.
like that, but it's not a full on legacy where you can't play it again. So you can
Nice.
replay this one a little bit easier, but it's all based on the Flashpoint board game. So my son, as soon as he saw that, he's like, "Dad, we're playing that tomorrow." So I had to open it all up and get it ready to play tomorrow. So
Now, I touched on the fact that we had some thoughts about what you were saying about having to pack everything away, right?
yeah,
We think that it's shameful that you're using the excuse of moving to not do any hobby again. This was your excuse the last time that you moved and the time before that. You should
I
be
know that.
painting and doing while the hobby is being put away. I don't like. It might be hard to paint with it when it's in boxes, but that's no excuse. You should be trying harder.
I'll try my hardest as it's being shipped from my house to another house 3 hours away.
Yes, damn right.
That's even the more pathetic part is it's just 3 hours away.
No.
Do you know
He
what
doesn't,
normal?
he doesn't even
do you-
move. He doesn't even move for a month. There's
Do
no
you-
reason to pack it.
Do you know what normal people do in that situation, Socks? They move themselves a room at a time over the weekend.
You're right. They do.
But no, not fancy socks. Not
If you had the military and was able to pay for your entire move, you'd do the same thing, George.
absolutely not, because I had what the Marine Corps provided for movers.
No.
Crayon eaters don't pack things
The,
very
the
well.
only positive moving experience I had in the military was when I left Japan because the moving company that showed up was Japanese based. And that's the great thing about Japan is they don't half-ass anything; they whole-ass everything. And so when the movers showed up to safely pack all my stuff, they actually did it. The guys that showed up when I was in California, I was like, "Yo, you got to pack that better. Like this is going across the world." Freaking entitled Air Force, Jesus.
It's not just the Air Force. That the entire military uses the same system nowadays. It just depends on who they contract out locally for you to get stuff packed out.
Yeah, where are the Marines stationed at, Socks? You know, in the
Not the
worst
good places.
possible places. Why does the Marine Corps have 29 Palms? Because the Army said this place is uninhabitable. You know what the Marine Corps said? Cool, we'll take it, dibs.
George is definitely not bitter about any of this whatsoever. He's definitely
he's
not
not.
bitter at all.
No.
What have I done for hobby? I've wasted a whole bunch of filament trying to print a damn gazebo. So the photo that I sent y'all, with the horrible bird's nest, I've had 2 more failed attempts since then. I'm now on attempt 4.
Man.
And the worst part is it's the last fourth of the print where it screws up. So I've used so much of my gray filament for the cobblestone
That's not fun.
for my damn gazebo. I got some
I have
more
a question.
paint. 42.
Why not just print the gazebo and glue it on after cutting off from the other?
Because I haven't figured out how to break apart an STL file like that.
That's fair. That's fair.
If attempt 4 has not succeeded, I may have to learn to do that. With as much learning as I have to do just to do my job, I like to keep my learning to a minimum for my fun stuff. Because I should have fun when I do fun stuff, not learn for my fun stuff.
Alternatively, the gazebo is a ruin.
Yeah. But I did get some more paint on my Stormcast Eternal General that I pulled out and did some work on. And I discovered something very disheartening. Do you know what I discovered that's very disheartening?
No.
I'll show you. I had to go get it. I'm gonna switch my camera now. How do I switch my camera?
That button.
There we go. So here's the base stuff for him, right? So the majority of the stuff there, that's the color shift from Green Stuff World, right?
Yeah.
The other metallics, those are just metallics from the Scale 75 metallic set. Do you notice how similar in color the color shift is to the gold I used?
Yeah.
I get it in focus there. Yeah, it's virtually the same color and reacts to the light the same as far as the colors.
Yeah.
Which means the Scale 75 metallic does as good a job as color shifting as the actual color shifting paint does. But it's just a metallic that I can brush on instead of having to do, a gloss black and then, like airbrushing. Like, it gave me the same quality and effect just brushing it on instead of,
I
So as
have
a
a
whole,
theory.
that Scale 75 paint's better than Green Stuff World paint.
Possibly not what I was thinking though. What's underneath the gold?
Uh,
Is there color shift underneath it?
yes, there is color shift underneath that,
I
but
don't think the gold is the thing that's color shifting. I think it's just not quite clear. I think it's just not quite opaque, rather.
no, it's quite opaque. I so in my white silicone palette, it's the exact same color as it is on the mini.
Oh, okay.
So the paint underneath had no influence on it, and well the purplish blue that I put on the gold parts is lighter. It's still a very similar effect. So essentially, and I bought it before I knew how much of a sleazebag company they were, and I will call them a sleazebag company, and I don't care, because of what they've done. But Scale 75, their metallic paints are better than Green Stuff's World Color Shift paints. It's as simple as that. I'm a little disheartened that I went through the time and effort to do the steps to do color shift when I could have just bought really good metallics and gotten the same effect. But
That's fair.
that being said, I'm that much closer to having this done so that I can attach the actual dude to it and finish it. I'll go grab him real quick.
While he's away, Socks, I think my big takeaway from this, and it's actually something, I mean, it's not sold as something that's supposed to be reacting this way. So my takeaway from this is that paint is, I mean, if you wanted it to do that, that's great. But if it isn't supposed to color shift, it shouldn't be color shifting at all.
Yeah.
Well, it's not color shifting. It's just that good of a metallic that it has depth of color.
Oh, okay.
So and before I've talked about like Scale 75 is good paint, right?
Yep.
Can we acknowledge how good this violet is?
That is pretty good.
Like, look how rich and purple. Oh my god, I cannot. How does this? There we go. Good lord. Try to use my phone as a camera freehand. But seriously, look how good that purple is.
Yeah, that is good.
Like, and I can't get it much closer with the focusing, but so what I've been doing with the Scale 75 is I've been doing a drop of the paint, because it's a dropper bottle, so I can do a drop at a time. But when I squeeze a drop out, then I grab my airbrush flow improver and I put a drop in with that paint to, thin the paint, but instead of using water, I'm using flow improver. And I'm getting 0 brush lines.
That's nice.
Like, it is just, it looks like I've airbrushed it on, but I'm using a brush. So
That's definitely a benefit with Flow Improver. It does help with that. You just have to be careful not to use too much of it.
So far, like, I've only done a 1-to-1 ratio. And it does take a significant amount of mixing to make sure it's all blended. I think a better would be 2 parts paint, 1 part flow improver, but I'm just so happy with how that consistency has been turning out. So
yeah, it did look nice.
Kind of show it off together, but it's getting there. He doesn't have his wings, but and obviously I have to redo a bunch of the white. But again, as I've discovered with Scale 75, their white is freaking fantastic. Holy crap! Like, a couple coats and it like covers. Like, it is seriously the best white on the market. If you need a good white paint, go to Scale 75 for the white paint.
Okay.
Don't screw around with Vallejo, Games Workshop. Just go get a Scale 75 white. You'll be good. It covers. It's matte. It's glorious. I will say probably the best white I've used for miniatures, even over Vallejo's airbrush white primer. So, game talk time. I've been working my 3D printer like a
Workhorse.
a workhorse. Yeah, it is. It has just been going. So, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. So, yeah.
Talk nerdy to me.
Can you hobby without hobby?
Yeah, this is probably a very confusing way to have worded this, right?
Okay.
I mean,
This
it makes sense.
This is inspired by a couple of things. Because, I mean, yes, obviously I'm away at the moment, and I don't have any hobby with me, so how do I fill in my time? Or do I not bother at all? But at the same time, every time Socks moves, he has to face this situation. Like, he has no ability to hobby because he has to put everything in boxes, like a shameful human being that should be ashamed.
I am ashamed every time I have to do it because then I have to unpack it all and get it all set up again.
That you have to listen to us.
That constantly, every 2 to 3 years, exactly.
So, having not moved in a very long time, thanks to the reality of remote work and whatnot, I have probably nothing constructive to contribute to this conversation.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, I already know part of this, right, Socks? Like, you pack the important stuff away first, and the stuff that you can use to entertain yourself and the kids is the last stuff that goes into the boxes.
Correct. Well, and sometimes, luckily, these last 2 moves, we've driven our cars up with us, and so a lot of the stuff. So, like from Florida to here, we drove stuff up, and so I packed up some paints and some miniature stuff with me, just because.
You drove. You didn't
Yeah.
have a chauffeur.
I didn't have a chauffeur. I drove. And I'll be doing the same thing for my 3-hour trip here in about a month and a half. Whatever.
I don't think he's being honest, George. Officers don't drive themselves.
Did you get bad proficiency and conduct marks? Is that why they took your chauffeur away?
Yeah. No. Never had one.
What,
But,
proficiency conduct marks or chauffeur?
Chauffeurs. I hate you both. Anyways,
You love us. Don't lie.
I know. Anyways, so I've been fortunate enough these last couple of moves, and this one included coming up, to be able to put some of my miniature stuff, put some of my paint stuff in a car with me and drive it up there so that even if I'm in a hotel, I can maybe get some stuff done until we can get the rest of our household goods delivered and I can unpack the rest of the stuff. And so that's what I plan on doing is since it's only a 3-hour trip from here, packing up a few necessary things, maybe a few handful of paints and brushes, and just start working on some stuff that I can until we get finally settled into the house that we've. And so I will be able to do some stuff, but how much of it? Trying to get settled into the new job, new house. We're not moving into our next house until the middle of June, maybe late June. Right now, even though stuff is getting packed up middle of May, it's just.
Here's the important question, Socks. Who owns the house?
We're
you
renting the house up there.
Have you properly vented them? Are they slumlords like the last ones, or are they actually decent humans?
Decent humans.
You triple check this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I know where you're going.
That was an unnecessary hassle that those less than humans put you through.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the reason why I didn't get a lot of hobby done here, is because I was having to deal with all the hassle of that and also going through school, but the hassle of them and then having to move hastily to get out of that place, and then trying to set up here. I mean, it's only been just over a year since we moved. I mean, so we feel like we haven't really unpacked anything because we knew we were going to be moving shortly again. So
Yeah.
So
what you're saying is that you don't need to start packing yet because everything's still in boxes.
I still need to pack all the stuff that I've got. So all my dystopian age stuff, all that stuff that I've gotten over the last couple of months and built, I'm going to need to pack up all that stuff. So, but a lot of it I haven't really unpacked. You're absolutely right, Bruce.
Yeah. So what we've confirmed, George, is that we're not just teasing him. It is actually true. He's just being slack.
Yeah. You should get a guy for that, Socks. You're going to be an 05. You should have people for that.
I know I should, right?
I thought that's what kids were for.
Oh no, he's right. He's right. He's right, Socks. No. So this did occur to me as a, how do you hobby when you can't hobby? This is a very unique situation for you. And it could apply to me since I'm jumping into a new game. Is you can't paint, you can't build stuff, you can't play any games, but you know what you can do? You can sure crack a rule book open and try to read it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Bruce and I talked about this last episode where you were gone. Is I hate reading for rules. Like I'll read a detective novel and stuff like that. I'll read for leisure like that.
Yeah.
But reading rule books to learn stuff, I can't stand it and I loathe it. And so would I do that if I was in your situation? Probably still no. But it's something you could do.
Correct.
You could learn your army better, rereading the rules. Like, how many times do we flip through the rule books like, wait, let me double check this rule?
Yeah.
Like, raise your hand if you do that.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
Like, Bruce is raising his hand. We can't see him, but he's raising his hand. We all do it.
The sad thing is I literally did. Another side of that, coming along the same vein, because that's where my mind was going to go when I had a chance to speak as well, is that, yes, you can, if you're looking into a new game, you have more reason to do it, but like pulling out a rule book for a game to double check things, it's a way to keep you motivated as well.
Yeah.
But going back and going to see like Let's Plays and stuff for the things that you're into can help you stay motivated. And dare I suggest using the opportunity to give feedback to others that are asking for feedback,
Yeah.
just to clarify, don't be that person. Spend time in the community, actually doing the stuff that you always say that you're going to do and don't get around to doing, like helping other people with their painting or making suggestions. And if your stuff is in boxes, why not enjoy it through other people's eyes?
Yeah. And I know that I've got about maybe 5 to 8 years left. And so I'm looking forward to being able to settle down once and for all and not having to move around as much. So I can just have a setup like George does. I mean, I've envied your setup ever since you got it, which is why I kind of have my own, but it's much smaller than yours. And I'm looking forward to being able to have a size that of a bench that big. And
Docs, remember, I did downsize this actually.
I know you did.
And I like it better that it's downsized. For that, are you not going to chase the bird or a star?
The bird. That's why I said 5 to 8 years.
Not going to chase a star?
No.
Why not?
Because I haven't gone. My career path has taken me to the point where I could get the bird. It hasn't taken me to where I could get the star.
Well, then, I guess there's one question for me and George then. So, in 5 to 8 years' time, how big is the lawn going to be? How big is the veranda going to be? And how noisy is it going to be at telling people to stay off them?
Actually, Bruce, I can answer this. I could probably answer this. It's probably going to be a good 25 to 3,000 square foot home, St. George, Utah, probably on the outskirts of the city. Tell me I'm wrong, Socks.
Nope, you're wrong.
No, George, he's gonna live in the middle of New York City. Otherwise, he won't be as bitter as he needs to be. Like Socks is this really warm, loving person, and he needs to make up for that in his retirement by becoming as bitter as possible.
Thanks, Bruce. I appreciate that too.
I'm wrong.
We're thinking Central Florida area.
Gross.
Why would you do that to yourself? Central Florida is not so bad.
We like Central Florida.
It's hot and humid and gross.
You're right. But my wife hates the dry desert heat of southern Utah.
But there's like old people there.
There's old people.
Which is what he's about to become.
Thanks, Bruce.
Only old people retire, Socks. You know this.
I know that.
Actually, to be fair, Bruce, he's the one that's actually going to probably be able to actually retire.
Probably true.
Probably. Yeah. That's okay. He can pay for all of our stuff then.
Yeah, he can play for the round trip tickets for us to all do a weekend at Salute. Yeah, hot. Like, so here's what I would do, right? So I would keep, I'd probably keep my Malifaux book and like the faction book if I ever get one.
Yeah.
And then probably one of the Cthulhu core sets, either the season 1 box or the season 3 box, because you can play games off that, and maybe one other game. But yeah, like having done the literal, move around the world, that's where this hobby really is hard. Yeah, because let's be honest, it's not the most robust of hobbies. Like, look at this guy, right? Move him around the world.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And let's be honest, like some of the stuff GW's done is even more fragile than that. Socks has an advantage being a nerd and doing historical stuff where they're all this tall and it's like just a chunk of plastic because it's like 1,000 troops for like, something this big. So
except for all of my armor class stuff.
He's going to turn 70 in a few years and he won't be able to pick up things that small anymore.
Socks, you could like throw that at someone's head and like injure them. It's so. So
The other
Bruce,
side of this,
I was gonna say,
yeah,
Bruce, did it a couple years ago? Didn't you actually fly with some stuff down to Tassie, like some paints and minis?
Yeah.
yeah. I think this is before getting tabled. I think this was during Hot LZ. I took a box
Yeah,
of Infinity stuff down and painted them up for a role playing game. I've done that a couple of times. Generally, the way it tends to go is that if I bring hobby with me, I don't actually end up touching it because I don't have time for it. But if I
Mhm.
don't, I end up regretting it and really wishing I had something with me.
Yep.
yeah. So, well, and that's kind of that double-edged sword. Like, so in the case you're in, Bruce, like, let's say you took like, let's say you had some of your drop squad already, right? Let's say you had that, you had the blisters, and you had the paints and everything. You took that with you. Like, you have it there, you could do it. But
Yep,
let's look at this from the reality too, Bruce. You're visiting your mom, your family's there. Should you really be doing hobby while you're there?
that's why I didn't bring anything. Yeah, because
So
that's
so
not what the trip's meant to
it's
be.
one of those things like, you could do it, but should you do it? I
Yep.
think that's
Yep.
another thing we should look at too is, socks, can you hobby with your family while you're moving 3 hours? You could. But let's be honest, like what's one of the great things about America? The road trip, right?
Yeah.
How many places can you stop at and bore your kids to death?
Oh, we did it last week while we were
Right?
driving because we drove from here all the way up to Pennsylvania and New York and DC, and so we were just stop stuff along the way.
Yeah,
So
but that was like 2 hours.
we
Yeah,
drove.
but he can easily make it 5 by boring the kids.
I could.
Well, but what I'm saying is like, driving on the East Coast, it's only a couple hours. It's not like driving across Nebraska.
We drove from here all the way up to Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that can't be worse than driving across Nebraska.
That was about a 12-hour trip, 14-hour
Have
trip.
you have you driven across Nebraska, Socks? That's a
Yes.
12-hour trip.
Yeah. Yeah.
George has strong feelings on Nebraska, I feel.
Yeah.
There's a reason, Bru. It's literally you can literally like fall asleep and drive across it at 80 miles an hour and
Going
not
straight
miss
the
it.
entire time. No curves.
Yeah, it's
And all you see is cornfields.
I
Fair enough.
know I know Australia has the record for like the longest straightest stretch of road, but
Yep.
that
Which
is
is also in a very
Nebraska.
boring part of the world.
that is literally all of Nebraska.
Yeah,
Like
fair enough.
it's not so much a joke as a horrible reality. But anyways,
Yeah. So the other side of this that I wanted to touch on, and it is in the notes there, is it's also an opportunity to deliberately not do that. I mean, George touched on this briefly, but
yeah,
there seems to be this idea, and we've kind of talked about this a few times, like when we were talking about burnout. Like taking a break is okay,
Yep.
but there
oh,
seems to be this
absolutely.
idea, and I think this idea stems from when people start, they have so much that they need to do before they can play a game that there's no excuse not to be doing it. This idea that you must always be painting something, because if you're not doing it, you're not doing the hobby right. It, I think deliberately making the choice not to do something, A, helps prevent burnout from happening, because it is something that does drive a lot of people out of the hobby, is that mindset.
Yep.
Because it can be a very toxic way of looking at something that's supposed to be fun. Because if you must do it, it becomes a chore. It doesn't become fun anymore.
Yep.
And I don't mean to say this as an attack on people that think this way. I more mean this in a, I'm trying to word this right. I more mean this in a, like, if you're thinking this way, you should give yourself a break. If you give yourself a break, you will actually probably find you'll get more motivation out of it. especially if you're in that situation where it is starting to feel like a chore.
Yeah.
Start with a week. Don't touch the miniatures until you feel like you need to.
Like here's an example, Bruce. Do you know how badly I want my Malifaux boxes? Do you know how badly I want them?
Very.
So bad. I and literally. So here's something I forgot to mention during hobby. Here's what else I accomplished too. Like
That's a big. That's a big board.
For those that are just listening to the audio, George just held up the grid system for the game that he's been building. And by holding it in front of himself, he looked like he's in a jail cell,
Yeah.
or that he was one of the chickens in the chicken coop.
like that's part of what we've been doing is just like, okay, like I could print 4 of those little squares at a time, so it's like I'd have to print 4, then I have to go through and reprep the plate, then print another 4, reprep the plate, like I was having to push at that to get those done. And now that I've got those done, like I did one of the terrain parts, like as a proof of concept of like, is this gonna work? And yes, holy crap, is it gonna work? It's gonna be a sweet ass terrain board when it's done.
Yep,
But
it's
like,
gonna look nice.
I was pushing myself to get that done, and now that I've got that done, it's like now I'm pushing myself to like go through and do the little painting on all the terrain blocks so that I can print it out in color, so I don't have to paint it when it's done. And it's just like it's easy enough because like it's an hour's worth of work, and then like the printer sits there for a day and a half, spitting stuff out. But it's like it's still stuff I'm having to get done. It's just like I just want to get the minis. I want to like cut them out of the sprue and see how much of a pain in the butt they are to put together, as Bruce says Malifaux is, and get some paint on them. Because it's what I haven't painted a game like this before. Like I've done the high fantasy, I've done the apocalyptic future, I've done the spaceships. I've not done a steampunk Victorian, which is probably why this game is appealing to me so much. Because as I've gotten old, like that, the way historical
Victorian horror type, yeah.
The way historical appeals to socks for some stupid reason, like the Victorian steampunk has really started to appeal to me. There's a third crew I want to get now. It's 10 Thunders, because why the dude's wearing like steampunk Victorian suit with the hat and whatnot. Like, that's why, you said Shameless was easy, but Shameless has the same look. Same with English Ivan. He's got the bowler hat. Oh.
Yeah.
Cops have bowler hats. That's why they're not popular. Because cops now wear like really, really stupid hats. Talk about freaking squirrel in the episode there.
Yeah.
Actually, I heard a great one. Do you know why the symbol for autism is a puzzle piece?
No.
Because they couldn't decide on which train it should be.
Oh, that's terrible.
Tell me I'm wrong, though. And find me someone with autism that's going to be mad at me for saying that.
Not all autism is the same. Not all autistic people like trains.
I get that, but when you think tell me someone who's going to be mad about that, though. About that generalization.
That's no, the actual autistic people won't be. It'll be the parents.
Exactly. I'm not mad about it. I think it's fucking. Dang it! Now I have to go find that and edit that out.
Yeah, but you're not a Karen.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, so I just thought it was an interesting. Like, there was a couple of topics that we could have potentially done. The original one was going to be, I was going to talk about baiting, but I decided to leave that until a little later when it's not quite as fresh in our mind. We had a bit of a debate.
We don't need to talk about
last
it.
week.
No, we can talk about it later. Let's leave it. Don't worry about it right now.
Yep.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A big thanks to Valhalla Hobby for sponsoring this episode of Getting Tabled. They're a great store. They have 2 pre-orders for me for my Malifaux stuff that I'm still waiting for the books and and now English Ivan, who is pushed back till May, but it's not their fault because they are a great store. I screwed up and ordered the wrong book, and they're like, "Oh, it's the same price. We'll just switch it. Here you go. We'll send you that book when we get it." There hasn't been a game that I've like looked at that they don't have. They've got so many things. They've got the normal stuff, the Warhammers and the Legions, but they've got the Malifaux, the
That's why
Dystopian,
Snox likes them, because they can provide him with Warhammer.
No,
all the Warhammer for Socks.
the other stuff.
Yeah.
Armored Clash and Dystopian Wars. The other stuff.
Socks lies. He's got 6 Warhammer armies. But no, Valhalla Hobby's a great sponsor. They're a great store. Super friendly. Like, I mean, the only time I've really actually talked to them was when I said, "Hey, I ordered the wrong book. Can we get it fixed?" And it was super easy, super painless.
Oh, I just remembered something.
You remember something? Bruce?
Armageddon is not the same thing as
Apocalypse.
As Apocalypse. And that got pointed out to me by a couple of different people, but one of them was actually Valhalla Hobbies. And the way that they corrected, it's always constructive criticism. It's not, you said this wrong and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. They're always so nice about it.
But yeah, Valhalla Hobby, located in Verona, Wisconsin. One of my things is I decided this during Adepticon this year is I'm going to go to Adepticon next year, and I might see if I can swing by the store and say, "Hey, losers, what's up?" No, it's a great store. Like I spent so much time just searching through what they have in stock, and it's impressive. I again, it's one of those things where I'm having a issue articulating into words like what they carry. I mean, they've got all your supplies.
They have a huge range.
They've got the games. If it's they've got the TT Combat stuff too. Black State Studios. What else do they have? Bushido. They have Bushido. I still have that tab open in Google Chrome for the Fox Army and Bushido.
Speaking of Bushido, that's probably something else I should have touched. The campaign book that they've been working on for the last 3 years is finally out for pre-order.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, excited about that.
But anyways,
speaking of people that support us, do you know who else supports us, George?
The Patreons, the Tablers.
Our wonderful Tablers. Yes, they're awesome. Yes. If you would like to sponsor us, if you would like to support us, you can join our Patreon for $2 a month. You get early access to all of the video content that we make. You also get the chance to listen to us recording live if you wish to. You don't have to, but you can if you would like to. And you can be one of the people that taunt us, like we taunt Socks while we're recording.
True. All the time.
Yes. Patreon.com/gettingtabled. If you would like to join
up, that is ValhallaHobby.com. The code is tabled at checkout for 5% off one order over $100. And to finish that up, yes, patreon.com/gettingtabled, $2 a month, become a tabler, make fun of us. The website, gettingtabled.com. Check it out. We have links to all the stuff there. Bruce has made some changes on the back end as far as where we're hosted, what the site's going to look like and stuff like that. So go check it out, gettingtabled.com. Of course, facebook.com/gettingtabled. We'll post everything there or links to it there. youtube.com/gettingtabled. You should go check it out and support us there. Let me pull up the page real quick. We are currently sitting at 921 subscribers. So only 79 to go. So we appreciate all the follows.
I think we've lost some.
No, we've only been going up. We were at 919, 920, 921. We're good, Bruce. It's all good. It's all good. Give us a like and subscribe. email is gettingtabled@gmail.com. If you have questions for us, stuff you want us to talk about, suggestions, anything, just send it to us there, and we'll talk about it. We'll mention it. Link to Discord in the show notes. X, Instagram, Blusky, Threads are all at Getting Tabled. If you want to watch Bruce play with action figures, there's youtube.com/toyreel. He doesn't actually do that. They talk about collectible action figures, but it's more fun to say he goes and plays with toys, because that's what we really do here, is we play with toys. And then, of course, Bruce, the ambitious one of the group, he is developing a game called Entropy City. You can find that at entropycitygame.com or just entropycity.com. Anything else?
Thank you, so-
gentlemen. Bruce?
Nope.
Nah.
Think we're
No? Saying we're good is a bit of an overstretch, but saying we're... Are we content with the episode? Are we good to just say it's done?
I'm sure Socks would like to talk about Warhammer more, but we're not going to let him.
Yeah, we don't have enough time for that. So
No, we don't.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For listening to Getting Tabled. Music used in this podcast was created by Eric Matyas at soundimage.org.
Spell Mississippi with one eye, Socks.